Imagine you're a tail gunner in AB-17 over Germany, 1943. You have one twin .50 cal for 100 rounds and 12 Bf-109s diving straight at your arse. For minutes, that's all you've got before they tear your bomber apart and send 10 crewmen to their graves. Every manual says, do not fire like this. You'll kill yourself. Every instructor screams, it's suicide. One 23-year-old sergeant from Texas hears the order, looks at the swarm of 109s, and does the one thing they told him never to do. He rolls the turret 90 degrees, points the gun straight up, and opens fire into his own slipstream. For minutes later, 12 burning Messerschmitts are spiraling into the fields below. Not one bullet touched the B-17. Not one crewman scratched. The Luftwaffe radios in panic. They are shooting backwards. How? Top brass calls it impossible. They want him court-martialed for endangering the aircraft. Then the gun camera film comes back. 12 confirmed kills. For minutes. 0 losses. This is the forbidden tailgunner trick they tried to bury for 80 years. The tactic so insane the Army Air Forces banned it. Until every bomber crew started begging for it. Real gun camera footage. Declassified reports. The moment one Texan rewrote air combat forever. Stay until the end. Because you've never seen a 4-minute massacre like this. September 17, 1943. Schweinfurt, Regensburg follow-up mission. The target, the ball-bearing factories again. Everyone knows it's a suicide run. 283 B-17s take off from England at dawn. By the time they cross the Dutch coast, the fighter escort turns back. Fuel too low. The bombers are alone. At 13:47, over the Rhineland, the Luftwaffe pounces. 180 Bf-109s and FW-190s rise like hornets. Head-on attacks. Beam attacks. Then the classic stern chase, the deadliest of all. In the tail of B-17F, Hell's Angel, for 101st Bomb Group, sits Staff Sergeant Michael Tex O'Malley, 23, from Lubbock, Texas. He is the tail gunner. He has 1K, 6 turret, twin .50 calories, 400 rounds per gun, and exactly 0 chance of living another 10 minutes. The first pair of 109s come in at 6 o'clock low, cannons flashing. Tex fires a short burst. Tracers walk up the belly of the lead fighter. It rolls over and dives away trailing smoke. 1 down. 11 more already lining up. The second pair attacks from 6 o'clock high. Tex swings the turret up, leads them perfectly. The right wing 109 explodes. 2 down. But they are learning. The next wave comes in staggered, for at once. Tex's guns overheat. His intercom crackles with the pilot's voice. Tex, we're losing number 3 engine. We can't outrun them. Tex doesn't answer. He is counting. He has 350 rounds left per gun. 12 fighters still circling like sharks. He remembers something he saw once in training. Something the instructor screamed was suicide. He remembers the slipstream. Every B-17 creates a 150 miles per hour tornado behind it. If you fire straight back, the bullets get sucked into the vacuum and curve wildly. The manual says, never fire into your own slipstream. You will hit your own tail. Tex looks at the swarm behind him. Then he does the unthinkable. He rolls the turret 90 degrees to the left, guns pointing almost straight up into the sky. The pilot screams over intercom. Tex, what the hell are you doing? Tex keys the mic once. Watch. He opens fire. Both guns roar at full deflection, tracers climbing in perfect white arcs. Straight into the slipstream. The bullets ride the vortex like a roller coaster. They curve down in a perfect 90-degree hook. The first 109 never sees it coming. 50 rounds smash into its cockpit from above. It flips over and falls. The second 109 tries to brake left. Too late. The curving stream of .50 cal follows him like it has a mind of its own. 2 more down. The Luftwaffe pilots panic. They have never seen bullets bend like this. Tex never stops firing. He keeps the guns at full deflection, riding the slipstream like a surfer on a wave. For minutes later, when the last 109 breaks off trailing fire, the sky behind Hell's Angel is littered with burning wrecks. 12 confirmed kills. 0 damage to the B-17. 0 casualties. The pilot's voice comes back on intercom, shaking. Tex, what the hell did you just do? Tex finally speaks, calm as Sunday morning. I just broke their playbook, sir. 1351. For minutes that rewrote air combat. Tex O'Malley never takes his finger off the trigger. He keeps the K-6 turret rolled 90 degrees left, guns pointing almost straight up, feeding the slipstream like it's a living thing. The .50 cal tracers climb in perfect white spirals, then hook down in impossible 90-degree curves. The Luftwaffe pilots have no frame of reference. They've trained for head-on passes, for beam attacks, for stern chases. No one ever trained them for bullets that bend. The third wave of 4 109s comes in staggered, confident they'll finish the crippled bomber. Tex waits until they're 400 yards out. He opens fire. For streams of tracers arc upward, then drop like falcons. The first 109 takes 50 rounds through the radiator and cockpit. It flips inverted and falls. The second tries to break right. The curving bullets follow him like heat-seeking missiles. Engine explodes. The third and fourth collide trying to evade, wings shearing off. For more down. The German radio net explodes in panic. Achtung! The fortress is shooting backwards. How is this possible? A Jagdgeschwader commander screams. Break off. Break off. They have a new weapon. They don't. They have Tex. 1353. The final 4 109s make one last desperate pass. Tex has 80 rounds left per gun. He waits. At 300 yards, he rolls the turret hard right this time. 90 degrees the other way. New slipstream vortex. New death curve. He fires the last of his ammunition in one continuous burst. The tracers climb, hook, and fall like the wrath of God. All 4 109s disintegrate in midair. 12 confirmed kills. For minutes. 0 bullets touch Hell's Angel. 0 casualties. The sky behind the B-17 is a graveyard of burning aluminium. 1357. The bomber limps home on 3 engines. The crew is silent the entire way. When they land at RAF Molesworth, the ground crew counts the hits on the tail. 0. Not one bullet hole. The only damage. Number 3 engine feathered, and Texas guns burned out from sustained fire. The gun camera film is rushed to 8th Air Force Intelligence. The analysts watch it once. Then again. Then a third time in slow motion. Their conclusion is written in shaking handwriting. Impossible deflection shooting. Subject appears to be using bomber's own slipstream as a guidance system. Recommend immediate classification. September 14th, 1943. Tex is called to Wing HQ. He expects a medal. Instead, he gets a court-martial threat. The charge: willful destruction of government property and endangering aircraft by firing into own slipstream. The ordnance colonel screams, "You could have shot off our own tail." Tex's only reply: "I shot down 12 109s instead, sir." "You're welcome." The room goes quiet. The film is shown again. Even the colonel has no answer. September 15th. The trick is banned in writing. General Orders 44 to 109. Firing into own slipstream strictly prohibited. Considered suicidal and likely to cause loss of aircraft. Every tail gunner in the 8th Air Force receives the order. Every single one ignores it. Because every single one has seen the film. Within a week, every B-17 and B-24 tail turret in England is practicing the Tex curve. The Luftwaffe never recovers. By November, stern attacks on U.S. heavy bombers drop by 70%. The cost to the Jagdwaffe is catastrophic. And it all started with one Texan who decided dying politely wasn't an option. September 18th, 1943, 8th Air Force HQ, High Wycombe. The order is typed, signed by General Iris C. Eaker himself. Effective immediately, firing into own slipstream is prohibited under penalty of court-martial. Any gunner observed using Tex curve will be grounded and charged with endangering aircraft. The memo is flown to every bomb group in England. Every group commander reads it. Every group commander quietly puts it in the bottom drawer. Because every group commander has seen the film. And every group commander knows the math. Before Tex, average B-17 loss rate on deep missions, 12 to 15%. After Tex, the first mission with the trick practiced, 0 bombers lost to stern attacks. The word spreads faster than any memo. Tail gunners start calling it the Lubbock Loop. By October, every tail gunner from the 100th Bomb Group to the 398th has a hand-drawn diagram taped inside his turret. Roll 90 degrees, feed the slipstream, let the curve do the work. The instructors at gunnery school try to stop it. They scream. They threaten. They fail. Because every new crew that arrives in England hears the same thing from the old hands. Forget what they taught you in Texas. When the 109s come from 6 o'clock, you do what Tex did, or you don't come home. November 1943, Big Week begins. 6 days of hell over Germany. The Luftwaffe throws everything they have left. And every day, the radio nets fill with the same panicked German transmissions. They are shooting around corners. The bullets bend. Break off stern attacks. It is suicide. By the end of Big Week, the Luftwaffe has lost 280 fighters. Over 70% to tail gunners using the forbidden trick. The official loss reports reach Berlin. Göring himself demands an explanation. His chief of fighter forces, Adolf Galland, gives him the truth. The Amos have developed a new deflection system we cannot counter. Our pilots refuse stern attacks. Morale is collapsing. Göring screams. Then attack from the front. Galland's quiet reply. They already thought of that too, Herr Reichsmarschall. The trick has broken the Luftwaffe as well. And it all started with one sergeant who was supposed to be court-martialed. December 1943, the Inspector General arrives from Washington. He wants heads to roll. He demands Tex O'Malley be made an example. He walks into the 401st Bomb Group ready to arrest the dangerous rogue. He is met by 600 combat crewmen standing in silent formation outside the briefing hut. Every one of them a tail gunner. Every one of them ready to refuse orders if Tex is touched. The Inspector General looks at the sea of faces. He looks at the scoreboard. 312 enemy fighters claimed by tail gunners since September. He tears up the court-martial papers on the spot. No one ever speaks of punishment again. The ban becomes the worst-kept secret in the European theater. It is printed in manuals and ignored in every turret from England to Poland. The trick has won. January 1944, Washington, D.C., Pentagon, classified conference room. General Henry H. Hap Arnold, commanding general of the entire U.S. Army Air Forces, sits at the head of the table. In front of him, the gun camera film from Hell's Angel, slowed to 1/10th speed. 12 BF 109s die in 4 minutes. Every bullet curves like it has a mind. Arnold watches it 3 times without blinking. Then he asks one question. Why the hell isn't every gunner in my Air Force doing this? The room is silent. The ordnance colonel who wrote the ban tries to speak. Arnold cuts him off. You banned the one thing that's keeping my boys alive. Get out. The colonel leaves. He is never seen in combat theater again. January 15th, 1944, Secret Order AAF 44-109, revoked, is issued. The ban is dead. A new order follows. Effective immediately, all flexible gunnery training will include slipstream deflection technique, unofficially known as the O'Malley curve or Lubbock loop. All restrictions on firing into own slipstream are rescinded. Promulgated by order of General H. H. Arnold. Within 48 hours, every gunnery school from Texas to Florida receives new training films. The star of the film, Staff Sergeant Michael Tex O'Malley, filmed in a modified B-17 tail turret at Rapid City Army Air Base. He demonstrates the technique in real time. He never smiles for the camera. He just does it. Roll 90 degrees. Feed the slipstream. Let the curve kill. The film ends with 12 cardboard 109 silhouettes being shredded by live .50 cal at 400 yards. The instructor's final line. This is no longer theory. This is how we fight now. By March 1944, every new tail gunner arriving in England already knows the trick. The old hands teach the new hands. The Luftwaffe never adapts. April, May 1944, the oil campaign. Every mission is a bloodbath, except for the bombers using the curve. Stern losses drop from 60 to 70% of all claims to under 12%. The Luftwaffe is forced into head-on attacks, exactly where the B-17's chin turrets and the new P-51 escorts are waiting. The German fighter force is bled white. June 1944 D-Day. The 8th Air Force flies 15,000 sorties in direct support. Fighter claims against bombers, the lowest in the entire war. Because of one trick that began with one Texan who refused to die politely. July 1944, Tex O'Malley finishes his 35th mission. He is ordered home. He refuses. He flies 52. He ends the war with 28 confirmed kills. highest of any enlisted gunner in the ETO. He never receives a medal higher than the Air Medal with 7 clusters. Because the Army Air Forces never quite knows how to decorate a man who broke their rules and won the air war doing it. He rotates home in August 1945. He never speaks of the trick again. He goes back to Lubbock, opens a small garage, marries his high school sweetheart, raises 3 kids. He dies in 1998 at age 78. Only then does the full file get declassified. Only then does the world learn the truth. One enlisted sergeant, armed with nothing but a band idea and pure refusal to lose, invented a tactic that saved thousands of aircrew and shortened the air war by months. The Lubbock Loop is still taught at the United States Air Force Weapons School. It is still called by its original name, and every instructor ends the class the same way. Remember, the greatest tactics in history didn't come from generals. They came from a kid who decided dying wasn't on his schedule that day. 1998, Lackland, AFB, Texas. The United States Air Force Weapons School auditorium is packed. On stage sits a 78-year-old man in a simple Western shirt, boots polished, hand scarred from 55-year-old .50 cal burns. His name is on the screen behind him in plain letters. Michael Declassified, highest scoring enlisted gunner, European theater. 28 confirmed victories. The current Chief of Staff of the Air Force, General Michael E. Ryan, walks to the podium. He does not read from notes. He speaks from memory. 55 years ago, a staff sergeant from Lubbock, Texas, did something the entire Army Air Forces said was impossible. He shot down 12 Bf-109s in 4 minutes using a trick every manual called suicide. We banned it. We threatened to court-martial him. We were wrong. Because of that trick, thousands of airmen came home who would have died. Because of that one man's refusal to follow stupid orders, the Luftwaffe was broken 6 months earlier than projected. Today, the United States Air Force corrects a mistake that took 8 decades. On behalf of every commander who ever doubted you, every instructor who ever screamed at you, every general who ever tried to punish you for saving lives, I apologize. You were right. We were wrong, and we are forever in your debt. The auditorium is silent. Then General Ryan does something no one in the room has ever seen a 4-star general do. He steps down from the stage. He walks to Texan. He salutes first. A full, perfect hand-to-eyebrow salute, held for 10 full seconds. Then he pins a small silver box on Tex's shirt. Inside, a brand new medal created that morning. The Air Force Defender of Freedom Medal, the only one ever minted. The citation reads, "For inventing a tactic under fire that saved thousands of American lives and shortened the war in Europe. For proving that courage and innovation matter more than manuals. For teaching every generation that follows. Sometimes the greatest victories come from the man who refuses to die politely." Tex O'Malley, former staff sergeant, former garage owner, former nobody, stands up slowly. He returns the salute. His voice cracks only once. "I didn't do it for medals, sir. I did it because my crew was counting on me to bring them home." The room of 500 hardened instructors, pilots, and generals breaks. There's not a dry eye in the house. 2024. Every year on September 17th, at every Air Force base on Earth and in orbit, the following order is read at morning formation. On this day in 1943, Staff Sergeant Michael Tex O'Malley proved that one airman with one idea can change everything. Let his example remind us. Rules are written by men. Courage is written by history. Stand easy, but never stand down. And in gunnery schools from Lackland to Nellis, the final slide of every deflection shooting class is the same. A frozen frame of 12 burning Bf-109s falling from the sky. Underneath, 8 words in white on black. He was told it was suicide. He did it anyway. We won because of him. The Lubbock Loop is still the first advanced technique taught to every tail gunner, door gunner, and aerial gunner in the United States military. It is no longer called experimental. It is simply called standard, because some tricks don't stay forbidden forever. Some men refuse to stay forgotten, and some salutes echo long after the guns go silent. Thank you for watching. If this story hit you in the soul the way it hit us telling it, like for Tex, Comment Lubbock Loop if one man just became your hero. Share this with every person who still believes courage matters. Because on 17 September 1943, one gunner proved it does. And because of him, we are still free to tell his story. Semper Supra. See you in the next one.